Welcome to Nothing But the Facts. Hi everyone, welcome to Amit-Hub, Nothing But the Facts, episode 10. This is the finale episode, and we're going to talk about the ways in which I think Seinfeld, the TV show, represents a way of screenwriting and quality that really isn't present in US television and even drama anymore. Before I do that, I just wanted to say that this is probably the end of this season, partly because there's a break coming up, Thanksgiving, and I just wanted to take stock and see what the best way about continuing with my next season will be. And I also wanted to think about the fact that maybe I'll do something different next time. Maybe it'll become more of a podcast sort of vibe. Maybe it'll be a little different. So hope you've enjoyed this season, but let's just begin talking about Seinfeld. So I was watching a few clips of Seinfeld on YouTube today, and I realized that the approach that actors used to take for the ways in which they engage, specifically in physical comedy, is something that really isn't present anymore. If you look at Kramer, the character, I think his demeanor is something so unique, so unstructured, yet almost irreplicable in today's TV shows. I feel like, as I was talking about my Venom 3 episode 7, it feels like Hollywood seeks to use VFX and aids to substitute for this, but nothing really compares to the degree to which human creativity can add a new dimension to the ways in which you understand comedy specifically. And it's not limited to one character, because that can obviously be written out as, special talent, which the actor who plays Kramer is. But even in another character who ends up playing George in Seinfeld, who's one of the main characters' father. And he also has many gestures, many mannerisms, which are definitely a byproduct of, yes, that actor's quality, but also the direction, who must have been just so critical in his performance of being that way, acting in a very physically obvious yet engaging manner. And I wonder whether people today are just too nervous to act in the same manner, or maybe that spark has become more homogenous with the increase in globalization and seeing what is almost more formulaically successful than, experimentational. There's actually a quote from Ridley Scott, very famous director, just directed Gladiator 2, but he's done many great movies before that. And he said that today, even though it's ironic, he says he only likes watching indie movies because he sees that big Hollywood has become very formulaic, and he doesn't see the effort made by big budget studios to engage with their actors and use different sorts of artistic representation. And instead, he sees this in small budget productions where, due to the lack of money and lack of funding, people have to make much more of an effort to just have a great performance and gain traction. So he actually said that's how he found Paul Mescal for Gladiator 2. And I'm sure there are many other examples that I'm not thinking of right now, so definitely let me know. And going back to Seinfeld, beyond the physical comedy aspect, I think the screenplay and screenwriting is also really, really special. Yes, I just talked about the Penguin in another episode this season, but as I said, that is more of the exception and not the norm. Whereas you look at that era of 90s sitcoms and shows, you had Friends, you had Cheers, you had Frasier, you had so many shows which encapsulated the same sort of environment and camaraderie between people, quality of dialogue and delivery, very simple sets that didn't really rely on anything beyond a very stable base. And that has definitely disappeared today. We don't really have very simple sitcoms or shows that revolve around character development in a comedic sense. People can say The Office is one, and The Office is a bit of an older show. I still don't think the quality and diversity of what they talk about is as varied. I think it's more unique thing that they just keep on regurgitating more and more throughout the seasons. But that's definitely something I can talk about more and discuss with people more if they disagree. But coming to the last point, I just wonder where comedy is heading, because there's definitely a degree to which people are, uncomfortable about talking about certain topics. There's not as much diversity of thought among, people in Hollywood and that sort of genre and that sort of line of work. So it's obviously much harder to attract people with different types of talent. So I think, in a sense, because the 90s were a period of much more growth among different types of people weren't so homogenized in their experiences, because largely of the lack of the internet being as prevalent as it is now, less social media to track everyone's movement. There was definitely a spark that existed then that does not exist now. So yeah, I guess this became more of a 90s versus now dynamic in entertainment discussion, and Seinfeld is just the focal point of this. But I do think it makes sense, and it doesn't inherently have to be a bad thing. I just wanted to end this season with something entertainment related, because that has been quite a few episodes this season, but I also think it's been more thematic, so I thought it was a good way to end. Really enjoyed doing this season. Thanks for listening, and I hope to see you when I come back next time. Bye.